Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I take a look at all the new comic books coming out on either July 5th or 6th, 2022. And I ask myself the question, what one new comic book would I buy this week if I could buy just one book? Let's start off this video first by taking a look back at my pick from 2 weeks ago, which was Something is Killing the Children, issue number 24, and the question remains, was it a worthy and worthwhile book to be my just one book pick of the week? And the answer is yes, because I love Something is Killing the Children. It was a bit of a light week, and it was a week in which Something is Killing the Children came out, so I read it, and I really enjoyed it. So yes, it was a worthy and worthwhile pick to be my just one book pick of the week. One additional thing I'll say about Something is Killing the Children is reading issue 24 really, this is a thought I've had before, but I had it again and really strongly as I was reading issue number 24. James Tynion IV is writing this title like a television show. At this point, he clearly wants it to be a television show. I want it to be a television show. I think lots of people want it to be a television show. And I feel like he's writing it to play out at a pace and a tone that would work really well on television. So I hope that translates to an actual show that is a big hit, because me and my comic book collection would very much appreciate it. All right, anyways, let's move on and take a look at the books that are coming out this week. Now, true to my old form, I'm going to have 5 honorable mentions and my just one book pick of the week this week. It's a pretty decent week for comic books. So let's get to it. First, I'll tell you about the books that are not among my honorable mentions or my pick of the week that I am buying this week. I am buying The Closet, issue number 2. As I told you all before, when The Closet issue number 1 was my pick of the week, I think The Closet is fantastic. I really hope that you read issue number 1 and enjoyed it, and you will continue it with issue number 2 and 3. I'm also buying DC vs. Vampires, issue number 7 of 12, to continue my love for James Tynion IV. As always, I've always said that this title is one that I was surprised that I enjoy as much as I do, but I do really enjoy it. Thank you, James Tynion IV. In addition, I am getting Saga, issue number 60. This is a book that I just wanted to sample, to try, because I wanted to know what the hype and the hubbub was all about. And I've really been enjoying Saga, so I'm sticking with it and looking forward to issue number 60. And then finally, among my pulls this week, I am getting Twig, issue number 3. This is another book that I enjoyed a lot. It's been a fun story. I think it has a lot of potential, and I want to see what happens to our little guy in this character. So I'll be reading issue number 3 this week. But let's go ahead and jump in first with my 5 honorable mentions. These are in no particular order. My first honorable mention is a new book called Absolution, issue number 1 from AWA. Here's the description. Nina Ryan was a hired killer who brought nothing but pain and suffering to the world. Now, she has a month to prove that she can change. A month to make up for her crimes and find absolution. Or the bombs that have been implanted in her head will explode, killing her instantly. As her journey of atonement is live streamed to a fickle public, Nina is about to discover that the road to redemption might be splattered with blood. All right, this sounds like a movie in the making right here. A bad person needs redemption and is given that opportunity to either redeem themselves or have their head blown off, all while being watched by a live streaming audience. That sounds like a dystopian future that I would absolutely see in a movie. And because it sounds so much like a movie, it actually sounds pretty entertaining as well. So because I think it could have spec potential down the road, that's one reason to pick it up. And also just because it sounds like a really cool story of redemption. And that is worth another reason why it is worth picking it up as well. The next book I want to mention to you is a new book. It's called Behemoth, issue number 1 from Black Caravan. Here's the description. Teresa is horrified to wake up and find she's turning into a monster. She learns she's not the only one. when the government throws her into a detention camp with others going through the same transformation. Surrounded by beasts, Teresa tries to hold on to her humanity by training to become a government weapon as part of Project Behemoth. This is another one. I could attribute a lot what I just said about Absolution to Behemoth. This sounds like it could be a movie. A character is turning into a monster, so they're thrown into a detention camp with other people turning into monsters, and they're trying to cope with that, while of course the government tries to turn them into a weapon. I would like to see how that plays out. That is an interesting premise to me. And sounds like it could be really, really entertaining. So I had to definitely mention it to all of you this week. The next book I want to mention to you is a new book. It is called Mega Centurions, issue number 1 of a 5-issue limited series from Scout Comics. Here's the description. Join Scout Comics for their exciting new sci-fi series, Mega Centurions, Mega No More. As the Mega Centurions, Cassidy, Reggie, and Thad save the world from an alien invasion. As the Mega Centurions, Cassidy, Reggie, and Thad save the world from an alien invasion by the evil Prince Venkor. Today, they are barely scraping by in dead-end jobs. Things are flipped upside down when a face from their past comes crashing back into their lives. All right, I like stories about super powerful people forced into mundane situations. I think that that's interesting. When somebody with power, either physical or they have influence over a situation, power in any form, like political power, physical power, however you want to think of it, loses it and is forced to cope with that loss, I find that interesting. And so that's why I wanted to mention this one this week. It sounds like it could be a cool story, and therefore an honorable mention. All right, moving on. The next book I want to mention to you is another new book. Yeah, there's a lot of new books this week. The next new book is Starhenge, Dragon and Boar, issue number 1 of a 6-issue limited series from Image Comics. Here's the description. Miniseries premiere. Revered creator Liam Sharp cuts loose in this visually stunning 6-issue masterpiece, Starhenge, Book 1. A future Merlin travels to 5th century Britain to prevent monstrous time-traveling killer robots from robbing the universe of magic. And Amber Weaver's lively present-day narrative reveals how she becomes drawn into a war across time. The Terminator meets the Green Knight in 30 enthralling story pages, setting the scene for this original epic inspired by the Arthurian sagas. Okay, we have time travel, we have robots, we have magic, we have King Arthur. This has got a lot going on. If you're a sci-fi or fantasy geek, this is for you. I'm just enough of a fan of sci-fi that when you start mixing all of these things together, I'm just kind of like, ooh, the geek in me really gets pretty happy. So this seems like it could be some pretty hardcore sci-fi fantasy. So if you aren't hardcore sci-fi fantasy fans, you might not be so interested in this, but if you are at all, if this anything in this description made you kind of perk up and go, ooh, this might be a book for you to check out this week. All right, the last 2 books I'll be talking about, my 5th honorable mention and my pick of the week, are both books I will be buying this week and also aren't number 1s. So that's something to be excited about there. The next book I want to tell you about, my final honorable mention, is Strange Academy, issue number 18 from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Platitudes get thrown around a lot in these pages. Excuse me. But if you've been reading Strange Academy, you know we don't mess around, so listen up. After this issue, things will never be the same at Strange Academy. Seriously, you do not want to miss this issue. This is going to destroy you emotionally and destroy the school beyond recognition. All right. I haven't been reading Strange Academy. I kind of wish I had been. It seems like it's pretty awesome, but I haven't. So I don't have much context for what's going on in the story, but it does refer to the potential destruction of the entire school. That's pretty significant. I believe that this issue number 18 is like the final issue before they're taking a break of sorts, I believe. So it seems like there's going to be a lot happening here. There's also spec around a character. I don't know his name, but there's spec around his possible connection to Werewolf by Night. So there's a lot of reasons that to check out this title this week. Seems like it could be a cool story. Seems like it could have significant impact in the world of Strange Academy, and it seems like it could have spec potential in the significance of the story points and also what happens with reveals regarding this character that I mentioned. One thing I'll also say is that this book could have very easily been my pick of the week, if only because the B cover, this I believe it's from Ryan Stegman. It's like a character spotlight cover. This B cover is already selling on eBay for about $15. And this has been, I checked it several days ago. That's a week before the book is coming out. People are already paying above cover price for this book. So if this book interests you at all, I would recommend going and contacting your local comic shop immediately and adding it to your pull if you are at all possible. I did that. I added the A and the B cover, although it is once again the B cover more than the A for whatever reason, probably because of the character spotlight that seems to be doing well on the secondary market already. So you know, if this, I'm going to pick this up, I'm going to read this. If it's good enough, I may start picking up Strange Academy from this point, because this series has had spec potential from the very beginning, and it looks like it has strong possibilities to continue to have that same potential. All right, so that's all of our honorable mentions. That takes us to the one book that I would buy this week if I could buy just one book, and that book is Batman, issue 125 from DC. Here's the description. Superstar writer Chip Zdarsky joins legendary artist Jorge Jimenez to define a new era in Batman. Bruce Wayne is at a turning point, haunted by dreams of a dark future, while Gotham City billionaires are being gruesomely murdered. With the discovery of an arch-enemy's involvement and a tragedy unfolding, the Dark Knight's nightmares are just beginning. Failsafe starts here. And in the backup, there's chaos in Gotham as the underworld fights over one of its crown jewels. And Selina Kyle is caught in the middle. Can she stop the bloodshed and maybe even make a little money in the process? Okay, so there are basically two obvious reasons why this is my pick this week. One, Chip Zdarsky. If you've been watching these videos, you know I'm a big Chip Zdarsky fan. He delivers a lot for me. I read I'm a free subscriber to his Substack, and I read his newsletter every time it comes out because it honestly makes me smile every time. His humor and his writing style really, really appeals to me. But then he has other titles that I like so much, like Newburn and Stillwater, that are really like dark and not funny. They don't have a pinch of humor in them, but they're just really, really great stories, and I like them a lot. So Chip Zdarsky is just a fantastic writer, and then you put in his hands Batman, potentially the best superhero in existence. I am a Batman fan. I have been a Batman fan since I was a little kid. I will probably always be a Batman fan. So you put Batman in the hands of Chip Zdarsky. He's basically the only writer other than James Tynion IV, who has finished his run on Batman, that I would be this excited about to take over Batman. If I had to hand pick somebody to take over Batman from James Tynion IV, he's been done for a little while, but picking it up kind of, it would be Chip Zdarsky. So I'm totally stoked to see what he does with the Batman title. And typically, people take over these titles and they really want to get people reading it. They want to get people's attention. They want people to perk up and buy the book. They want to prove to DC that DC made the right choice hiring them to write it, because people are buying the book as much as they always have, if not more than they had. And so I think writers want to get in there and they want to really hit the ground running. They really want to grab you with something awesome. And possibly that might be first appearances. Writers like to put in first appearances. It's good because it brings in readers. It's also good for the writers because if that character has legs long term, they get a little piece of that, and that's really good for them. The description refers to failsafe starts here. Now, failsafe, I believe, is the title for this first story arc, but I also believe that failsafe is a new character that we will be seeing in the Batman title. But I don't know that 100% for sure, but I have a feeling / I feel like that's kind of the word on the street. So it looks like, unsurprisingly, there will be first appearances in there. I expect a fantastic story, wonderfully told by Chip Zdarsky, and it's Batman, and Batman is awesome. So for all of those reasons, that is why Batman issue 125 is my just one book pick for this week. All right, there it is. Hey, listen, one thing I was going to say at the beginning, subscribe and hit the notification bell because I have more content. I am underwater on content right now. I have so much editing that I have to do. It's blowing my mind. I'm really glad I have the next week or so off because I'm going to spend a lot of it editing videos for this channel. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those. If you like my videos and you like this video, hit the like button. And yeah, that's it. All right. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.